Jeni Elizabeth, the Hollywood stylist behind every
It's fun and refreshed.
The great part about the trends this spring is that a lot of them are really easy DIY projects at home.
Nice.
So.
Right.
Celebrity stylist Jeni Elizabeth has joined us on the couch because we got to talk about the biggest category. It's the one that doesn't get an award.
And now Jeni comes to the Fashion TV network, where she'll make your Wednesdays fashionably mismatched. Here's Jeni.
Hi guys, welcome back to episode 3. I'm super excited to be here this week. I have so much to tell you today. This topic / style and sort of elevating with what you have is a favorite of mine. And I've always considered it somewhat of a game, right? Like how many outfits can you make out of what you have, and also how can you elevate and look fancier, feel better about yourself, perhaps depending on how you word it, look more expensive or without actually spending the money, right? Some people have it, some people don't. And for me as a stylist, it's really become somewhat of a game to be able to, elevate people's style with either simple spending or what they currently have. So with this episode, I really wanted to jump right in because I feel like I have a lot that I could say that's really fun for you to do at home and just sort of see what you can do, as I said, with your existing wardrobe, what's in your closet, and not have to run out and spend a ton of money. So with that, here we go. The essential basics. These are things that we always review with talent right at the beginning of a show, or something that I always talk about with my customers, just, my clients here, just in regular suburban Westport. There are a few things that you can make sure at home that you do that always have a large impact. The first is getting a manicure. Now, it doesn't have to be running out and getting a manicure. You can paint it yourself. But my mom always told me the first 2 things that people notice about you are your smile and your hands. You never want to have dirty hands. I love to do DIY projects at home, right? So I always have paint on my hands, and at night I'm always like scrubbing with the brush. But having a simple manicure, it doesn't always, you can do like a very simple color. You could do white. You could even do clear. As long as your nails are clean and fully polished and just shiny, and your hands look good with like a little moisturizer, sometimes a little olive oil, which is a trick. It just gives the appearance that you care, right? And you're clean and ready, and it does have a big impact. Also, obviously, accessories. And when I say accessories, I don't just mean, earrings and bracelets, what you would normally think of with accessories. Accessories is really anything that you're going to pile on top of, your t-shirt, your sweater, whatever it may be. So accessorizing with sweaters or hats, making sure that you sort of have a full array, which we'll go into later on, of layering pieces. Accessories themselves, as you think of it with jewelry, to be honest, I'm a big fan of costume jewelry, right? Because again, you don't have to spend the money. You can grab them at a secondhand shop. You can grab them in an antique shop. You can grab, usually these days, as we've discussed before, a long string of pearls for $2. And I feel like accessories really hold the ability to take a look and elevate it 10 times up. And it's simple. It can be super cheap. It can be something that, you're borrowing from your mom, your grandmother, or something you're getting, at a secondhand store. And then tailoring. Tailoring is a really big deal. It can also have a really big impact. And, if you think about it, if you show up somewhere and you're wearing this beautiful dress or a beautiful blouse, and it's sort of ill-fitting, right? Like maybe the sleeves are too puckered in the arms, or, the buttons are pulling just a little bit too much. Having a piece that is perfectly tailored to your body, which can sometimes mean taking it in and letting it out, depending, also is a really big deal. The fit of your clothing matters. And that's something easy that, can also be done very cheap and can have a very large impact. There's also many items that you may have in your closet that, once were very popular to be big and baggy that you can take and have the seam brought in. Even denim. I was known for a while for bringing jeans that I loved and having the cuff moved up. They actually cut off the bottom, cut off the piece that I didn't want to drag anymore, or I wasn't wearing my platform shoes anymore. And they brought the bottom of the hem up. There are seamstresses that are literally so good with that. And that can make a really big difference in just the overall appearance and the overall impact of what you're trying to accomplish. So it's those little things. Obviously, you have your hair and your makeup. They always say, your hair says a lot about, I don't wash my hair every day at all, but I am a huge believer in dry shampoo. And if your hair is down and it's at least shown that you blew it out, like those are just little things that you can do that really do elevate a look. And I know sometimes it takes a little bit more time. I have kids and I'm running around, as I said, doing DIY or doing the dishes, and my hands are usually gross. But, at night before I go to bed, I just throw a quick layer on, I slap on some clear, and I'm good to go. I remember growing up, my best friend's mom would paint her nails every night before she went to sleep. And then she would tape her hands on books and she would just go to sleep, in bed at night with her hands taped to books so that they could dry. And I remember always asking, why do you do that? She looked so crazy to me. But it was because for that reason, she knew that she'd wake up in the morning and she'd be going and she wanted to start out fresh. So I think that that's one, those are a couple really big impacts that you can make on a really low budget. The next thing I just want to quickly touch on, which we're going to go more into later, are the 2024 summer trends. So in case you were not aware, pastels are really big right now. Think like Easter, just kind of like a beautiful pastel rainbow. Whites were also really big on the runway this year, like a simple white dress. These all work as great basics. The summer trends really work for the everyday person this year. And the reason for that is because, there's not a ton of crazy patterns, mixed patterns. I feel like a large part of this summer trend, spring trend, is being able to work with what you probably already have. So again, the pastels, the white dresses, the white simple dresses, white shirts, the fringe skirts, those are really fun. And also a simple DIY, right? If you have an old pencil skirt and you want to cut up, right? If you have an old cotton skirt, even, you want to cut up, and those are fun DIYs that you can do that'll put you right on trend. There were a lot of lace layering and tulle. The tulle I always really love, and that's just because I am a girl that wears tutus. I have a favorite Valentino tutu. But I love the tulle sewn at the bottom of a blazer or the lace sewn at the bottom of a blazer. It's just like great textures. It adds a lot of fun to your look. It's something that you can, pick up at the fabric store, easy to get, add onto, a piece of your clothing. That just gives it a little bit more oomph, right? So that said, we are going to go to commercial really quick, but you should get a pen and a paper because when we come back, I have a lot to tell you. I'll see you in a minute. Hi guys. Okay, we're back. So let's do this. Are you ready? Did you get your piece of paper and your pen? Because we're ready to dive right in to the next one and just talk about what you can do in your closet to make it a little bit more elevated. Okay, capsule collection. This is also a basic. Here's the thing. I feel like, obviously the capsule collection started decades ago and it was brought back in 1985, super heavy with Donna Karan. It was originally based on the business look, right? But going through COVID, I think that in my world, actually, there are many different types of capsule collections these days. I think the basis is still the same. The idea of it is that you want to have many pieces that are functional, that are interchangeable, and that can create many different looks. But for me, it doesn't just have to be that business look, right? It doesn't have to be blazers, or two different blazers and work pants and boots. It could also be, a capsule collection can also be centered around the everyday stay-at-home mom, right? I like to call it the PTA mom because I'm a PTA psycho. But so you can also create a capsule collection using leggings, using your Lululemons, your sweatshirts, your casual wear, because the idea is still the same. If that's a look that you're creating every day, then you should have a capsule collection that's based on you. So whether it's 4 pairs of leggings and 5 different athletic jackets, or 8 different pairs of sneakers, whatever it may be that creates your capsule collection, which again is sort of based on, I like to say 30 pieces, 30, 35, 37 maybe pieces. Then I think you're good to go. And those are the basics. So you want to begin by going into your closet and in your mind creating this capsule, pulling out all the old stuff, okay? Getting out everything that doesn't fit you anymore. It's really about the beginning purge and then creating that capsule. So you want to pick your items that are interchangeable and can work with many looks, right? They're layering pieces. So you're going to have your denims, you're going to have your blacks and your white basics, your t-shirts, maybe a blazer or a sweatshirt, or I always say to my clients to try to stay away from the heavy logo wear, really any logos, because that sort of signifies that it can be identifiable that you've worn it many times. So you want to pick basic pieces that are not super busy, that don't have patterns. And that's your capsule, right? And those are items that you're building on to create a million different looks with different additions of accessories, different shoes, different bags, different scarves. So creating that capsule collection is really the basis of what you need to streamline your closet and to go to the next level. So with that said, the next piece of this is monochromatic. Now, I know we've talked about me being rainbow bright. So I just want to say here that another thing that I do focus on with my clients is that it doesn't always have to be neutrals, right? We talk about the Navajo palette a little bit. Whatever your monochromatic is, and again, here you can see we have like a work look, a professional look, but then also a casual look. Whatever your basics are, they're easy basics. That's always going to be a go-to outfit. Creating a monochromatic look is a very simple, classy, just appearance that makes you feel very sophisticated, right? It's always slimming, it's always elegant, it's always classy. It can also be very striking if you're doing an all white outfit, if you're doing an all black outfit, whether it is neutral tones. For me, if someone is going to a dinner and they say, I want to, really be elevated here. I really want to look sophisticated and classy, whatever it may be. I love going with the whites or the blacks and then adding in the gold accessories that pop, right? So a simple, easy to go look for you just right off the bat is a monochromatic, all white, all black, all tan, all purple, whatever it may be, slimming look. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add to that look by, adding on the accessories that are going to elevate you. But you do with monochromatics want to keep it, simple and striking. Those are the two. I also feel like, I don't know if this is the right to say, but Kim Kardashian, the Kardashians, I feel like are very good at honing in with monochromatic looks. And really, I feel like brought the sort of neutral back to this sort of Gen Z that really, it overstates. It's a really good look, and it does not have to be expensive. You don't have to break the bank getting a monochromatic look for yourself. So it could be a white tank, a white pair of pants that you find from Marshalls to Zara to, Burberry. It doesn't matter. It's on your bank. People aren't looking at your tags. They don't know what you're wearing. Trust me, you're just creating all one color. And then, as I said, accessorizing. So that's the first note, monochromatic. Always have a monochromatic. So the next is layering. Layering can really be an area where you can really push your style. And it's also, I find, a great, sometimes can be a talking piece. You always want to, so there's the 4 basic rules, right? So you have the base, the mid, the outer, and the accessories. So base, again, you're pulling, from your capsule collection, you're putting on your basics. Mid, whether it's going to be a blazer, whether it's going to be, a cardigan, and then you have your outer, whether it's a jacket, whatever the season may be, and then your accessories. When you're adding in layers, you're adding depth to the look, right? So instead of just wearing like a white tee, you would be surprised if you take, like here, I found that perfect chunky sweater, right? Just looking at that woman in that white dress isn't really that exciting, right? But once she adds on that chunky sweater, you're immediately asking her, oh my God, where did you get that sweater? Or like, look at the depth of that, even adding the yellow cardigan at the bottom, right? It's adding not only sometimes a talking piece that people are like, wow, but also it's adding more depth. It's also showing that you care more. It's elevating your personal style, and it's giving the idea that you care. You took the time to add in these other pieces and you care what you look like. So layering, I feel like, again, it can be very basic pieces. It doesn't have to be Gucci. It can be something, a simple sweater that you're grabbing at Marshall's. And if you're tying it on your shoulder, or you're, holding it over one, or you're just wearing it, right? It's adding something else that adds excitement and it's elevating you, creates a cozy chic look or a comfortable, look for any weather. You're ready for anything. So layering is really the basic pieces in your closet, adding them on, tying them on, go for it. Elevating through accessories. Belts were really, really big this year on the runways. Everybody has belts, right? You can buy all different kinds of belts. Again, secondhand stores have really fun, sort of thick, chunky ones that you think like, oh, they went out. No, they didn't. They're back. And one fun way to elevate with a belt that I found this season a lot on the runway was putting a belt over a blazer. Such a good look. It's giving you an extra waistline. It's just sort of pulling you in. It's also, again, adding probably, I bet you, a talking piece, because people are going to look at you and think like, wow, I never thought to do that. So adding belts anywhere. Also, belts, I just want to say, do not have to be, they don't have to be the average belt. You can use a scarf as a belt. You can use, I have a beautiful like Katie Klein robe that I wear, and she has all different silk, waist ties, and I use those as belts. I use scarves as belts. So it's never just about elevating with the accessories and the jewelry. It's also about using the cardigan as a drape. If you have like a beautiful wool hat, but it's very plain, you can add a brooch on top of it. Again, a bigger brooch that you can get at any, at any secondhand store, really anywhere. The hat and the sunglasses are a really big elevated look, right? If you're I always think of Jackie O. I think many people do. Tying the scarf around your head, even going to the beach, that's a huge statement. And it is a very elegant look. If you think about it, all the classy figures that we know, Audrey Hepburn, the to die for style icons that we have, they all have these looks at one point. Marilyn Monroe, the scarves and the big sunglasses. You don't have to break the bank to do it at all, but it's a major elevated piece. So we're going to go to commercial again, and we'll be back with more. Okay, bye.
There's a couple things I'd like to say to you. After all the crazy, after all the crazy things that we've been through, I needed you in the dead of night, the wake of the day, first broken light, and blind I'd fall, I'd follow you, I never realized how much I needed you.
Comfort, what we deliver by delivering.
Hi, welcome back. Okay, so I think we're going to go into a couple questions quickly here, just because I think that we have a lot. So Carla, which always makes me happy, by the way. Hi, Jenny, I love you. Oh my gosh, I love you too. Do you like the new trend with mesh ballet flats to accessorize maybe jeans and a t-shirt with a blazer, or should I go with a sling back and pointy toe? Okay, I love ballet flats. They're never going anywhere. It's kind of like a denim jacket. So I love the idea of doing jeans and a t-shirt with a blazer and ballet flats. I'm not a big fan of the sling back. I don't know. I always feel like they're choppy and they make a little bit more noise. And a pointy toe is, I feel like, a look for a certain event. So I would say go with the ballet flats. I'm a big fan. Yes. Okay. Gabby. Hi. Baby blue is supposed to be the it color, but mostly I see it in shoes. I also do think a baby blue blouse is flattering on anyone. What's your favorite it color for this season? I did love the pop of red that we saw. That really deep cranberry red. But as far as pastels, I would say that lilac is sort of a great color. It really varies. You know, it's what works best for your skin tone. And everybody's different. Even going into the summer, if you're someone who spends time in the sun, that color may shift as you get more and more tan. So baby blue is a good one. I would keep digging. I've seen it recently. I always mention Zara, but Zara has it. I've seen it around, so you can find it in the clothes, Gabby. Tom Mahoney, hi ladies, I adore you. I was hoping you could do an entire episode dedicated to men. Tom, that is a great idea. I actually have one of my great friends who's a guy stylist. I might bring him on, so stay tuned. Mono looks, I favor Lululemon and Vince for my wardrobe. Vince is great. Vince, I always think is like a very classy, elegant, simple look for guys. For me, it's like, I don't know, a little boring for women. Don't get mad at me. But I love Vince for guys. So I love that. Charlie, hi Jenny, I love you, but you told us to always use accessories. Then you told us that you don't force your clients to have accessories. Help me understand, accessories or not. I don't remember saying I don't force my clients to have accessories. I always have accessories with me traveling as a stylist. I always have a bag of accessories that are easy go-tos for them to slap on quickly. Some people don't like to wear accessories. I do not wear earrings, right? Like, I got my ears pierced when I was a kid. It's just a personal feeling. I just never wore earrings. So I try to do what my client wants. That said, I think it's about finding the middle ground of doing, you know, what you're comfortable with and what works for you. So if someone is open to it, I push it. If not, I never make a client feel uncomfortable, or at least I try not to. Do an episode of men for men, Arnie. Okay, I will do an episode for men. I promise. We'll figure it out. We'll put it in. I think it'd be super fun. And I feel like there are lots of brands that we can explore. Can you help us pack for a trip? Yeah, of course I can. You guys can always email me. You can hit me up on Instagram and send me messages. I love helping. So I'm more than happy to jump in and help with whatever projects you guys have going on. I really do love making people feel good about themselves. And I feel like that is really the basics of being a stylist, right? It's not just about shopping and spending money for people and doing sort of like the dirty work. It's really about making people feel fabulous and taking their self-confidence to the next level. And that's going to be different for everyone. So we're going to jump back in quickly. I think we have a couple more minutes. I really want to focus on this just say no. Okay, you guys, I know you learned the phrase when you were little, just say no. Can you please promise me one favor, okay? You're not going to show your bra straps. That's not going to elevate your style. It's just not. It's just not a good look. The cheap flip-flops, you need to toss them. Get rid of them. I will say I have one pair of Javiana flip-flops, but really I use them in the pickup line. There are so many other ways to use flip-flops, slides, whatever they may be. So please throw out, I'm going to say the Old Navy flip-flops, just junk them out. No toe socks. Listen, I saw this. It's almost as bad as like the toe clip-on the Crocs. Like, they're bad, guys. Like, it's weird. It was never meant to be like that. Please don't wear them. Although I will say I love the Rainbow Bright socks here, but the platform heels, ladies, it's gone. It's not a good look. It's also creates a very wobbly look. It's not sophisticated. It's not elegant. The platform heels, they gotta go. Mini boots, or I should say booties with mini dresses. Nope, not anymore. And especially with the bodycon dresses. And I see this a lot, like around prom season. And it makes me really nervous. It's a very choppy look, right? So you've got the dress. If you look at that one picture, it's a perfect example. You've got the dress, and then you've got her legs, and then you've got her boots, right? It chops you up. It's not a flattering look. The idea is that you really want to be cohesive, and sort of flow from head to toe. That's not a flow head to toe look. One more thing I just want to add in is that tank tops, right? Everybody's got tank tops that they, do whatever and throw on a tank, whatever, work in the garden. But one good piece of advice I think that I would love to also leave you with is to think about throwing out or putting aside, we'll say, your tank tops, and buying camis, right? They're a little bit more delicate. Sometimes you can get them, with the lace on top, and they're a little bit more sophisticated, and they sort of take you to the next, level. So I think that it's going to be no sweats to leave the house and always be ready to run into your first love. Right. I mean, it's hard for me to say, because if you know me, if you're watching the show and you know me, I am a girl that's always in, my sweatpants and my side pony. I remember saying to many of my clients, don't look at how I look, just look at how you look, right? Because I'm constantly running around shopping for other people. And I do love my free cities. I'm a huge fan of sweatpants. That said, I'm not working on myself. So anyways, I hope that today we were able to give you a couple quick tips that are affordable and easy to elevate your style. More importantly, make you feel really good about yourself this spring and summer. I'm super excited to have next week, which is turning your closet into a bank, because I am certain that you guys are going to be very surprised at how you can make money on your closet. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm excited to, talk about how the little pieces that you have that you most likely wouldn't think about renting to your friend. So that should be fun. But more importantly today, I'm hoping that you left with a couple things that you feel really good about, not having to go out and spend a ton of money, but really being able to take your style to the next level. Because at the end of the day, I feel like it's super important to not feel like you have to have a huge bank account to look good and feel your best in the morning. That's something that you should be able to figure out with what you have and who you are. And I never want to make people feel stressed by elevating their style or making them feel fancy and fabulous. It shouldn't be something that stresses you out. Getting dressed in the morning should be something that makes you smile and makes you feel fabulous. Because as I've said before, that's something that runs into your personality, who you are, how you perform at work, even who you are with your kids. You want to feel good about yourself in everything that you do. And clothing really can make or break that. So I hope I gave you a couple tips today that help. And I'm excited to see you guys next week. And if you have any questions or you need help, always feel free to reach out. So until next week, I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
Omar, look. Omar, check this out. Hi, yeah, I was calling to see if you do laser hair removal for men.